Hello everybody and welcome back to the Car Lightning Snapthis channel. We've had a bit of a rebrand, but we're not going to talk about it in this video. Today we're going to talk about is Snapchat Plus, the monthly subscription where you can pay to have additional features on Snapchat, really worth your money. And I'm going to try and break down some of the best features in this video and what makes it stand out in comparison to maybe like the premium services from X and Instagram. So let's get into the video. So welcome to the channel. As I mentioned in the introduction, my name is Car Lightning and I make content creation all over the internet. I've been from podcasts to Snapchat videos to Instagram, TikToks. I've done it all, and I've finally come back to my channel after what feels like a 2-year break. And I'd also like to say thank you to anyone who's been supporting me while I've not been making the videos. But I've had this realization that Snapchat is probably the king of social media. Some may disagree, but looking at the figures recently, it's definitely going up. And thanks to Elon Musk, who's pretty much killed off Twitter for a lot of people, or X now, it's definitely going to make a big impact, and it's exciting to have Snapchat back. But today we're talking about the subscription. I was a bit hesitant at first because a lot of platforms and a lot of ways that the world works now is via microtransactions and subscriptions, which is, it's annoying because you have to pay to enjoy something that, 10 years ago would have been free. So we're going to talk about the pros, the cons, and I'm just going to break down the features that I think will persuade you or give you a reason to subscribe to Snapchat Plus. So the pros of Snapchat Plus, it's for someone who's been a fan of Snapchat for the last, 10 years, how long it's been running, I always love the new features. And the one thing that is a massive pro to Snapchat Plus is they add a lot of features. I think we've had 3 this month. So I'm not saying that there's 1 a week or 3 a month. It's, there's a lot of content. And that adding the fun side of Snapchat, I believe they would have loved to have added in the early days, and it's nice to see the features that are added into Snapchat Plus. Snapchat Plus adds features that makes the app more personal and more fun. It doesn't take away from the experience from someone who doesn't subscribe to the subscription. One of the perks, I would say, is actually the price of the subscription. It's what we'd call a fiver in the UK. It's £4.49 currently. It has gone up since the start of the Snapchat subscription, but the features have doubled, and I think that's a completely reasonable ask. £5 we put in a birthday card and send it to our friends, so it's not too much a month. You can pay it yearly, which will of course save a subscription, but I think, for what it is, when there's companies out there that charge $10.99, $19.99 a month for the features and what it is, I would say at the moment it's worthwhile. Another feature that our worldwide audience will actually find interesting is the pros to this is actually all the features work on every device in most countries. And what I mean by this is the era of Snapchat between 2013 and 2020, there was cool features that came out, but sometimes it wouldn't work outside of America. Obviously, with the app being developed in California and being based mostly in America, a lot of the features never really crossed over to the UK, France, and the rest of the world. So it's nice to see that these features are straight on the device and there is no limitations with country and region. Now over to the cons of the subscription. Now this is a bit difficult because actually it's really hard to slam them because all the updates and all the bits that they put on the subscription are literally cosmetic. That is your choice if you'd like to pay for it. It makes no difference and you're not losing out on the application. Obviously, it costs, that is a con, and if, in a world where we've got a lot of subscriptions, it's another one, and I've known people that have got over £100 and $100 worth of subscriptions already via streaming platforms, and it's just that extra one. But if you're a massive fan of Snapchat, this is where I think as a con, it wouldn't really matter. One thing I would like to see is maybe a Snapchat Plus roadmap. Snapchat at the moment do cold drops. They literally just drop it on, they push a notification out to your device and say, hooray, you can now do this on Snapchat Plus, which I think is cool, but they've always done that. They've always dropped it cold, unless if it's been something they've mentioned at the Partnership Summit or the Lens Fest, the internal events. Most of the features just appear, which is exciting because it's like, whoa, cool feature. But I think, with video games, they do it really well. They have a roadmap. They tell you what's going to happen in which season of the year. And it would be nice because I think it would keep people more invested and subscribed if they knew something that they wanted was coming to the application. It's not really a con, but it's definitely something that I think would keep the Snapchat community and the fans of Snapchat Plus hyped for new features and exciting things to come. And I think it would also build that relationship between the customer and the team over at Snapchat. Non-verbal, but people will be talking about it online, and it's just going to build more subscribers and more fans to the Snapchat Plus. One thing I think Snapchat should integrate into it, and this is a completely business model change to the whole subscription, and I think it will bump it up in price if they do this, but it's removing the ads from the Discover panel. When I'm still watching the Snapchat shows and my mate's stories, I'm still bombarded with 5-second ads. I think as a subscription, you should remove the ads for anyone who's subscribed. Yes, it's a big change, but I think as a subscriber who's paying to use Snapchat, yes, I like the cosmetic features, but I feel like a lot of other subscriptions get rid of ads as soon as you start paying. I know that the advertisement business on Snapchat is massive, and there's loads of stuff with lenses and stuff. I'm not saying get rid of the sponsored lenses, but the annoying non-skippable ads would be nice to remove as a subscriber. I don't think it's too much to ask, but I do think Snapchat would raise the price up to maybe $7.79 because they like to pick nice numbers like that. But that is one thing I would say is more of a con. I feel like I'm paying for Snapchat, but they're also taking the liberties of getting money from advertisers on a paid subscriber. Let us know in the comments if you agree with that, because I think that's one of the big tipping points for most people in subscriptions. So this section of the video now talks a bit about the pros, a bit about the cons. I'm sort of going to help Snapchat out here and give you a reason to subscribe to Snapchat Plus, because I actually think from being a subscriber for the last 3 months, it's had a massive updates, it's had loads of cool stuff, and it's actually enjoyable to use the Snapchat app now with all the cosmetic changes and the additional features. But we're going to start off with custom story expiry, and why I think this one is probably one of the most noteworthy features in the Snapchat Plus subscription is it allows, let's say, a normal person who uses Snapchat to sort of develop themselves into a content creator. And the reason why I say this, stories last 24 hours. It's a brilliant function on Snapchat. But for content creators, it's a bit of a short window. Obviously a story, if I'm out with a few friends, want to share that I'm having a coffee, 24 hours is perfect. But if you make a funny video that you want to share with your friends, family and fans, this is where custom expiry is, pretty decent. You can put this, short video on for 3 days, and it just keeps it a bit more relevant. So if one of your fans had missed a day of not being on Snapchat, that video would still be there, and it's features that us as verified content creators on Snapchat actually get for our public stories. So it's nice to see that it is allowing, the normal generic consumer to actually be able to develop their Snapchat into more of a content creation page. Keeping with the content creation theme, there's also something called priority replies. So let's say one of your favorite content creators on Snapchat posts a story and you send a reply. This actually changes the reply to gold and puts you near the top of the list. Now, not every content creator checks their replies, but if they do on that certain Snapchat you replied, you'd actually be at the top and could be quoted on their story. So in terms of collaborations, this is a great way, especially if you're starting to grow on Snapchat, that this is a great way for you to start collaborating with big content creators. Now, this happened to me, and this is way before the subscription. I used to reply to Phil Walton, who was a lens creator, and now me and him have made content. He's been on the channel, and that's helped me grow as a content creator, getting to know the Snapchat community. So I think priority replies, even though it seems a bit like bragging rights, it's definitely worth it if you're trying to get bigger on Snapchat. So I'm going to move over to some of the more fun features. If you're not interested in becoming a content creator, or that's not, you just like Snapchat, there's some great things that have cosmetically changed the app. And I think this is the biggest appeal for me, because I actually like the control, and what Snapchat have given us is way more than they should have. I like the fact that Snapchat have given us the ability to change the app icon. It's not uncommon in the app development space for an app to give you the choice, especially if you're a paid customer. But typically, I think most of them only give you 3 or 4, but Snapchat have literally got over 30 different icons to just play with and give a new creative taste to your lock screen. There's loads with the Snapchat Ghost, there's some with the plus icon, and then there's some with the snap word in different art styles. And I think it looks really nice, because not only does it make your lock screen look better, but if you've got an Apple Watch or another smart device that actually shows the icon of the app, it just, it's fresh and it's different, and I think it's nice. You don't have to change it, but if you've given the option, then go for it. Moving over to the customization feature that definitely got me resubscribed this year to Snapchat Plus. And I'm not lying when I say this is the feature that got me to resubscribe. It's the ability to actually change the UI colors, the record button. This is customization we shouldn't be given as consumers of Snapchat. It completely breaks the branding. And this is where it shows that Snapchat really are trying to give the features out to the community. And I've changed mine to blue. And it's one of those features that allows you, if you were at a gig or a nightclub where someone puts their phone up to record something above everybody's head, you can actually see that if they're a subscriber or not, if they've changed the interface. And I think that's what blows my mind when it comes to just being able to have this customization. You can choose the ribbon color at the bottom, the icon for a new message, the record button, the colors. It's just mad. And this feature is, what brought me back to Snapchat Plus. Staying with cosmetics, you can also have an AI-generated background. What I mean by this, on your profile, you can choose from a selection of backgrounds. But if there's not something that isn't your vibe, Snapchat AI can actually generate you a background. This is great if you're into some sort of hobbies or something that just isn't covered by the background. You can give it a prompt and it will try its best to AI generate a background. I think it's really cool because it makes it more personal and you don't have to have any editing skills. Just tell it what you want and it will generate it. One of the features I believe has generated probably the most subscriptions to the Snapchat subscription is the ability to change the background. And again, these features aren't new. This isn't a fresh idea. WhatsApp do it. And I think it's nice that Snapchat allow you to customize it. Not only does it make the chat individual, but it also allows you to, remind yourself every time you talk to a friend of a memorable moment, a nice picture of you guys. Or I've got some people that just set my face as the chat background because they call me Mr. Snapchat. But you do you. As long as you're subscribed, you can change the background. And if you're not subscribed, you still see the background, but you have no control. So this is where I believe a lot of people have subscribed to it to allow it to change the background. And it does give you that heartwarming chat and it's very personal to that person. And I believe it's just that added bit that people enjoy. They also give the ability to pin your bestie at the top of the list. This makes them invincible if you're snapping somebody else to take their number one position. Maybe it's your partner, your lifelong friend, or even your soulmate. Whoever it is, you can pin to the top and it doesn't matter who else you Snapchat. If you did thousands of snaps to somebody else, they will not be replaced. You can only do this for one person and it actually makes them gold at the top of your list. Another feature that is actually impressive that Snapchat have given us the option, if you lose the flame of the Snapchat streak, you can actually restore it with the subscription. Snapchat streak is when you send a snap and they send you one back every day and you build up a streak. If you lose this, originally you'd have to write a really nice email to the Snapchat support explaining why you lost it, and most of the time they're not going to restore it if you forgot. So they still do that. So if you're a non-subscriber, you can still go to the support desk and they can help you out. Obviously, it is a process that feels like you're doing emails, which isn't great. But with the Plus subscription, there's an option to restore a Snapchat streak. This last feature is a badge you earn from being a subscriber. This here, the dark star, shows on your profile that you are committed to Snapchat, you are subscribed to their subscription, and just basically shows that you have all the additional features and advertises to others. If you want it, you can subscribe. Don't get that muddled up with the Snapchat Gold Star. Now these are completely different, so if people that don't know them, they'll probably think they're the same thing, and that is probably what will appeal. You can say, oh, I've got the star on Snapchat. Without context, yeah, that could mean you're verified. But the Gold Star is still very different. You can only get this star by being authorized by Snapchat, the team within Snapchat who do all the lens creations and all the content creators. That is still a process that is very difficult to get hold of, unless if you're somebody who's got a reputation or know somebody or have managers. It's a complex world, and still, this is a very difficult thing to talk about because it is so difficult to get to. But this one goes on your profile. It just shows to your friends that you are subscribed to Snapchat. And it doesn't show up in the chat features like the Gold Star. It literally only sits at the top out of your profile. And this is where I found it's a bit, not controversial, but annoying for, killing off the star, mainly more on Instagram and X. Like the paid subscription has just confused everybody. Are you verified or are you a paid subscriber? It's a bit weird. Snapchat have kind of kept it simple and I kind of like that. Now, as a verified content creator on Snapchat, the interesting question is what happens if you're verified, but you also want to stick the star on your profile? And I've got Snapchat here, so let's find out. No, the world does not implode if you try to have two badges on your Snapchat account. They do not go side by side. They are, as I mentioned before, completely different things. The gold star goes on your chat screen, and it also goes on your public profile and of course on the story and discover. This literally just sits at your friend's screen or your profile where you find your Bitmoji and your customized background. Anyway guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I really am so glad to be back talking to the Snapchat community. I'd like to give a few shout outs to friends who have been along my journey while I've not been on YouTube. Nua, Nick, you know who you are. You guys have been badgering me for a video and I really do appreciate the support, and I just want to give you sort of an honourable mention because it has been a long time and I love being back. And I think I'm going to be on the roller coaster ride to Snapchat's getting to that #1 platform. If you don't believe me, from personal experience, don't see many people using X and Instagram like they used to a year ago. And Snapchat seems to be coming back as the platform to snap friends. And I sound like I'm running their annual general meeting, but at the end of the day, it is very exciting to be talking Snapchat. And I believe there's going to be so much more from this subscription. I'm going to do a playlist with all the features. We're going to do in-depth builds on it. So if you are interested in learning more about Snapchat and other social media platforms, we've got that little one that's called Be Real. If you've not heard of that, that's an interesting one, very interesting concept, quite an annoying concept actually. But I want to talk more about that as well, because over the last year, I've been using that application. It's added a bit of fun to just social media again, and I think it has become very corporate. And let us know in the comments below, what do you think of the features we talked about today? What do you think of social media platforms? Let's start the conversation and talk about this, because this is the next 5 years where social media is going to be going. It's going to be doing more subscriptions. They're going to be wanting to take more of our money. Hopefully less ads, but that's where it's going. If, of course, you're new around here, and of course, I'm going to use the old outro card here. If you're new around here, of course, you can subscribe to the channel. If you enjoyed today's video, then please give us a like. And of course, comment down below what you think of social media, because it's definitely something worth talking about. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I'm so glad to be back, and we'll catch you in another one.